A whole new world, a look at what's to come. September 9, 2014. Today we have been asked to discuss what we perceive as being the most probable future timeline that you are manifesting at this time. More specifically, we have been asked to share our perspective on where we perceive the human collective energy to be heading and what changes and advancements we perceive as being the most probable at this time. Certainly this is a very large topic, and we will do our best to share with you some key changes that we perceive in your near future. So with that, we would be delighted to share our perspective, so let us begin. We will begin by first sharing our perspective of the current now moment, and then we will shift into your future timelines. As we have said many times, and it is worth repeating, we do not perceive any time to be in your future or in the past, rather we see all time happening simultaneously. It is only the rate of vibration and frequency that seemingly divides your experiences into different time periods. With that being said, let us begin. As many of you are noticing, you are in the midst of making very large transitions in your lives. For some it feels quite chaotic, as if you are in the midst of a twirling tornado and haven't the slightest idea when and where you will be placed on solid ground again. To this we say, congratulations. You see, many of you are in the midst of manifesting the many changes you have continually wished, dreamed, and hoped for. Humans rarely enjoy change. It's something that is quite perplexing for those of us in the higher realms, as the universe is always changing. It is always shifting to reflect back all that you are resonating with. Though humans fear change almost more than any other fear they collectively hold. We would like to assure you once again that this year has offered you each a wonderful opportunity to really demonstrate just how far you have come, how much you have learned, and how much you are currently able to trust that all will be exactly as it should. A rather difficult challenge for some of you, though we can assure you that this transition will be well worth the effort. Just as each of you are going through your own transitions, so too is your collective consciousness. The things that were previously allowed to take place on your world will soon become a thing of the past. We have often said that in just 20 to 30 years of your time, you will see more rapid transformation and progress made than there has been in the last 2,000 of your years. In approximately 25 years of your time, your world will no longer resemble the world you currently inhabit. The technology will drastically propel you into a world in which space is no longer a barrier. We are not just referring to outer space, but to the space on your planet. Currently your planet is a very large place, in which not all beings have the ability to travel to any place they desire to visit. This will change. The borders of each country are currently upheld to prevent invasions from others who wish to conquer or take over others. Though this will no longer be the intention of the collective. You are shifting into a world free of war, free of boundaries, and free of fear. Though from our perspective your world is transforming in a blink of an eye, for many of you who are still experiencing a form of linear time, it will seem as though it is a rapid progression rather than an overnight change. We realize that much of this seems quite impossible. How could so much change in such a short amount of time? To this we smile, as we will offer you a similar analogy. How would you describe how impactful the internet has been on your world to someone residing 30 years ago on your Earth? Many of you will have a hard time remembering just how different your world was just 30 years ago. We can assure you this is just the very beginning. Much of the technology that you have today is handheld. You can take it with you wherever you go, and most of you have come to really rely on your devices to assist you in a multitude of ways. Though in a short while many of these devices will seem like old relics, as your technology will soon be able to sync with your mind. A thought that many find frightening or even dangerous at this time. Though the fears will subside and you will become quite fond of the technological advances that allow you to sync your consciousness with your technology. As the collective continues to awaken to the innate harmony, peace, and balance that can be ascertained, you will let go of the many fears the collective holds about power, conquering, and controlling, as this technology will be used for the betterment of your world. The technological advances that are to manifest within your future timelines will completely revamp how each of you learn. Many of you are familiar with downloading an app on your devices in order to allow the device to perform a new function. This will be quite similar to how many of you will acquire new skills and knowledge in your future. It can simply be downloaded, for lack of a better word, into your mind. The explosion of progress and advancement within the human race will be quite unimaginable to many of you today. Any skill, language, information that you wish to acquire will be accessible to you, much like an app is accessible to your computers. The technology that will be released progressively over the years will actually assist you to perform many of the tasks that your mind is actually capable of doing, yet your beliefs and understandings do not yet support the manifestation of it yet. So you see, your technology will act as a bridge to assist you in carrying out the tasks that are innate within all of you, though you are not quite able to perform them yet. Another large change will be in how you travel around your world. Transportation will change quite drastically. The current forms of transportation that you have are quite damaging to the environment and particularly time-consuming. Many of the advancements will allow you to travel to any point on your world in a matter of an hour or two at most. As more and more of you leave your jobs and follow your passions, you will no longer have the need to travel so regularly, as you will be able to provide your services from any location. The vehicles, for lack of a better word, though they would hardly be considered as such, will be quite efficient and run on crystal energy. Another large shift that we perceive in your future timeline is the dissipation of money, and the increasing desire to trade goods and services with one another. Many new systems, ideas, and beliefs must be incorporated in order for the need for money to be completely removed. You will begin to trade services rather than exchange money as a form of payment for your services. In fact, there are already systems such as this that are beginning to be implemented on a much smaller scale that will act as templates for many of you to move towards, to allow you to completely let go of all forms of money. Many of you are witnessing the transparency of money, as it is predominantly displayed on digital screens and accounted for in plastic and paper. This will change as you continue to evolve and grow, as you will no longer require the exchange of money. Another large shift will be in your entertainment and news outlets. Currently, your media at this time plays a very large role in shaping the collective consciousness, thoughts, fears, and beliefs at this time. So we would like to begin by sharing what we see as being the most likely shift in this area. The media and your news outlets around the world are in a sense a reflection of the collective thoughts, fears, beliefs, and interests. It is in a way a direct reflection of where your collective chooses to focus their attention. Currently, your media is highly focused upon fear-based drama, though we assure you, this will change. More and more are no longer allowing their minds to be shaped by the fears of others, rather you are awakening to a new paradigm in which you create the harmonious lifestyles that you wish your world to reflect. As more and more of you awaken to the divinity within, you are choosing to unplug from the mainstream media outlets and choosing to reconnect with nature, your true interests, and many various forms of finding the peace within. It has been a widespread belief of many that they must remain up to date, and are required to watch the gruesome acts portrayed on your television screens regardless of how unpleasant they may be, though we are witnessing the shift amongst many of you. As each of you become more selective in what you allow your minds to focus upon, you are finding much of the fear, hate, and anger displayed on your televisions to be out of alignment. We realize that much of what you are witnessing around your world can be misconstrued as pure chaos, though we are here to assure you that all that must change is coming to the surface for all to see. Only then can you consciously choose to make a change. Though it appears that those who reside on the other side of your globe do not affect your lives, we can assure you, you are all connected in an energetic web that cannot be separated. The decisions you make in each moment directly affect each and every one of you. You will surely see the forms of entertainment change drastically in the coming years, as you will no longer be glued to watching shows filled with drama, fear, and segregation. Rather, you will wish to only focus your attention on the experiences, events, and happenings that make you feel at peace, in joy, or in love. Your media will come to reflect that in time. The growth and progress that will be witnessed upon your world will be nothing short of exceptional. We have only briefly touched upon a few key changes that we perceive to be most probable. We remind you that you are always shifting, changing, and redirecting your future events in every given moment, and we encourage you to make the changes within your own world so that you may create the world you wish to live within. We hope that you have found this message to be enjoyable and that we have in some way served you. In love and light, we are your angelic guides. Channeled by Taryn Creamy. www.angelicguides.com